2.5 years ago, I did a video with a guy who had embarked on a crazy modelling project to build 40 rally cars in 1/24 scale, one from each year from 1970 to 2009. As of this recording, he's got half of them done. Mahoney has finished the first 20 models in his 40 years of rally project. In this video, he tells us about those first 20 builds and delves into a few extra kits not covered in the first video, including a very hard to find Ford Escort, plus some plans around a bunch of Audis. For reference purposes, the first video from 2023 runs through the full 40 car project and shows all the kits and aftermarket product needed to complete it. The link to that is in the description. Also, this video is broken into chapters if you wish to skip to certain parts. Enjoy. This is where you're at with your collection of the 40 years of rally car. Just give us an overview of, just a reminder for those who might not have seen the first video, just let us know what the whole idea was.
Okay, well the concept was 40 years, or still is 40 years of rally cars from 1970 to 2009. One car from each year. I can have multiple versions of the similar vehicle as long as there were some changes between the model years and the markings or the colour schemes are different. I think last time we met I had completed 6 with 2 about to be built. Yep. And as we can see now, we have 20.
Yep. And
we can see over here, we have the stash with the remaining 22.
Now, so that doesn't equal 40.
That's exactly right. That does not equal 40. Why doesn't it equal 40? Well, again, for those who would have seen the last video, when I was asked the question what my favourite rally car was, the answer was the Audi Quattro. Tamiya made a version of the Audi Quattro that was long out of production, very hard to find. But I have since managed to source 2. So that then allowed me to expand my collection of Michel Mouton Audi Quattros from the 3 I originally had, actually to 5. And not only that, it allows me to show 5 different iterations of the Audi Quattro that Michel drove.
Yep.
I have actually built one of those, so whilst the collection actually has 20 in it, really only 19 from the original collection. There are 2 extra Audi Quattros in there, which will sort of be a parallel 5 Quattros of Michel.
So like a sub-collection within the whole set?
A sub-collection, yes. Yep. Because I got a 1982 037, Lancia 037, which is definitely going to be in the collection, as well as I think it's an 84 Opel Manta, which they're definitely going to be in the collection. But what I have been able to do now is basically show the evolution of the Audi Quattro from the first through to the last version of the cars.
You had 6 done last time.
Mm-hmm.
We've now got 20. And that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So that you're getting through about 7 rally kits plus all your other stuff that you build.
Correct.
That's a fairly high rate of construction.
Yep. Retirement certainly helps.
And do you reckon you'll keep that up? Because that means you're going to be like another 2 to 3 years to get the whole lot done?
I reckon another 3 to 4 years. We're pretty much on target for that.
Have you got one on the run at the moment? On the bench?
No, I have no rally cars on the bench at the moment. I've got a GT car, the Mercedes CLK GTR, Boeing 767-300 freighter, a Western Lynx helicopter. Probably doing Impreza next, as I have 3 of them in the collection there, and I'll probably then do one of the Celicas.
All right, well, let's have a look at what you've been doing the last couple of years and the first 20 in the collection.
Okay, right, well, As I can't remember exactly which sequence I built them in, I'll go through them chronologically in date order from what we have. So the first one we have here is from 1971, the Renault Alpine from the Acceptagil team, which is a French toothpaste. This one was in the 1971 Tour de France. Motorcar version, not the cyclist version, driven by Christine Jacquemont. It's a Tamiya kit, one of the two Tamiya Alpines that I've built. Subtle differences were just on the front. One of the on the real car, one of the bumper guards was missing, so that's been taken off. Realistically, that's pretty much out of the box, just apart from the standard edition of tape seat belts and seatbelt buckles. The aftermarket decals just came off eBay. It was just some guy in France. And then I just had to hunt around for reference images to try and work out where everything was, because they changed around virtually from every rally. The next one from 1972, Rally Monte Carlo, driven by Jean Todt, Nissan 240Z. Straight out of the box, that one. Hasegawa kit went together very nicely. It was fun doing the chrome inserts around the windows. They're always fun.
I can see there's a axe or something in the back.
Shovel.
Yep.
For the snow.
Yep.
Okay, next up we have another Alpine. This is a Hella version of the Alpine, and you'll probably notice it's got the wide body shell. Some of the Alpines had the wide body shell, some had the narrow body shell.
As in the flares?
In the flares,
yep.
Yes, in the flares. And they were fiberglass moulds, so they were just different moulds. That was the Hella kit with some aftermarket details and kit decals. They went down very well. I used the Zero Paints Alpine set for the blue, the white and the red. So that's that's just got the boot up. It had a nice little engine in the back, and thought we'd do it for that. Then moving on to 1976, again Monte Carlo, and Michelle Mouton when she drove that car during the 76 Monte Carlo rally. The decals are, I think, from Renaissance. Now you notice that the two cars, this Alpine and this Alpine, have different wheels, and that's because two different Tamiya boxings have different wheels in them. When Tamiya released the car, they released one as the road version and one as the race version. Mm-hmm. And it's quite handy because the cars actually race with different wheels on them during the rally, so that was that got me out of jail there. That was quite good. I had to do a few mods on this one, remove the side mouldings, which are visible there, which weren't on this version of the car. It had different door handles and a few other subtle differences as well.
And what's the paint on the 76 one? Because that metallic blue, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but from this angle it looks brilliant.
Yeah, that's actually the Tamiya rattle can.
Yep, straight out of the rattle can.
Straight out of the rattle can. Yeah. I have decanted sometimes, but sometimes when I'm doing a complete body, it doesn't really make sense to decant it. I'll just use the rattle can, and that came out very well. That's the TS whatever number.
Yep. And there'll be a video about some rattle can painting, because there's some other brilliant models coming up in another video painted with rattle cans.
Moving on to 77, the Lancia Stratos, again from Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo Rally seems to be quite popular with decal manufacturers. Hasegawa kit, straight out of the box, again, apart from maybe some seatbelts, or I think I might have used the kit seatbelts in that one. Just my trick of using kit seatbelts on tin foil to give them a bit of body. Because there's no long visible straps going through to the back. One thing I do like about this one is I put some magnets in, and so I can have it with night lights or without night lights.
Yep.
With the cover.
And the magnets mean it always goes and lines up properly, I guess.
That's correct, yes. That one was weathered just to represent it how it was at one point during the rally.
With the weathering, because there's a few with the weathering here, are you using airbrush weathering or manually?
Combination. Airbrush, manual, paint, powder, pigment. Depends on what it is I'm doing.
Okay.
Try and use sort of, I guess, the appropriate one for what's going on. Moving on to 1978. We have another Monte Carlo representative, good old Renault 5. This was the original version of the Renault 5 front-wheel drive, not the V6 powered mid-engined Group B monster. But this just slightly more powerful than the standard 1.4 litre four-cylinder, but very light, did very well.
That looks like it's got a clear coat over it.
Yep. They've
all got clear. Okay.
Clear coats over them. Yep, that was I think that was Guns to me or possibly SMS. I can't remember.
Give them all a shout.
Yeah. And polished the old hard way manually and everything, sort of before I got onto 2K clears, which the later ones are a lot quicker to do and a lot hardier and easier to polish and everything. Then we have a Ford Escort that started life as a Italieri Escort and has really had a whole load of stuff added to it and changed and everything. Even the exhaust underneath was doubled in size because what came with the kit represented about a 1-inch exhaust, which wouldn't have, it wouldn't have got out of its own way. So this is Russell Brooks in the Lombard RAC Rally of 1989. But yeah, that's again, that was painted a combination of airbrush and rattle can. That's effectively Lotus Camel yellow. Then Fiat Abarth. Fiat 131 Abarth from the 1980 Monte Carlo Rally, driven by Walter Rall, who then went on to be a very successful Audi driver. Again, but just like the Escort, these are sort of 1970s or early 80s era esky kits. I didn't go overboard on this one other than adding some seat belts, extending the roll cage. Kit decals from Cartograph went down very well. And I think I did a demo at the club on how to get them over the wheel arches. Italeri Audi Quattro, quite a bit of aftermarket and scratch building on this one because it's more representative of a road car than a rally car. Actually had to add in the wheel arch extensions. The mirrors were scratch built actually from the front of the tips of some bombs that I had, but they actually do match the ones on this one quite well, which is good. And yeah, interior complete roll cage built because what Italeri provide is very basic. The decals, I think from Reggie, and I chose that one because you don't get to see many black rally cars. And so it was just running black for the Portuguese rally in 1981. Okay, moving on to 82, another Michel Mouton Audi, actually won the Acropolis Rally in this one. Again, in this one I've used aftermarket wheels, I think from Reggie. And the decals as well were aftermarket, 'cause the kit ones were shot. This is the traditional, the standard Audi scheme, and this was the colour scheme which I saw the Audi Quattro at the motor show back in England in the early 80s. Interesting comment from the manufacturer of the wheels when I posted it in a particular Facebook group. As I said, like that you use my wheels, but these weren't used on this car. I had a reference photo of it actually on one stage in that rally where it had that wheels, and I posted it underneath. And thanks very much. I never knew that. Yeah.
So you've just opened his market up.
Well, I'm sure they've sold a few more copies of those wheels. On a Group B monster, this was the...
That was a fantastic era.
Yeah, that actually, and I've got a few more Group B monsters in there, and that actually then might just be another subset that I might just have to get the...
Extend on a little.
the Metro 6R4 and the 205 T16 Peugeot. Yeah, just have another little subset.
Yep.
This is the Aoshima / B-Max kit. This was the one that sort of got me really back into getting this project going. I think it was the one I built, the second one I built out of all of these, and there was a long gap between the first one and this one. I did go slightly crazy with completely detailing the engine bay and everything. No, that does not come off from memory. I think I have glued that down, and the interior has been done with all the wiring and everything else. But we've got other photos from in the previous video that would have gone around and seen the underneath and everything. Then probably the most successful, certainly Lancia of all time, would be the Integrale, the Delta Integrale. This is the second version of the Integrale, the 16 valve. The first one was the 8 valve engine. It's a 16 valve in a one-off red Martini livery that was used San Remo Rally in 1989, I believe. It then wasn't used subsequently because it didn't photograph very well in black and white newspapers of the day.
With the red.
With the red, yeah. Again, Hasegawa kit, straight from the box. Only exception being a seatbelt set. But yeah, nice kit. I'm looking forward to building the next one of those, which will be the super version, which was just slightly more beefed up and everything. Okay, moving into the 90s, the car that got Subaru into rallying, the Subaru Liberty or Legacy, in beautiful cigarette sponsor markings of 555, Rally New Zealand, 1993. So, just added the seat belts to this one. Everything else, standard aftermarket decals from Renaissance, because the kit decals didn't include the cigarette sponsors. Moving on to 97. Another one that is weathered, just slightly weathered, this one from the Safari Rally. This is a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4. Straight out of the box, bar the seat belts. Kit comes with all the metal parts, which are for the snorkel and the...
Oh, okay. So the white metal.
White metal bits, yeah, white metal, nice grill. The little flaps there out of plastic. So that was a very nice build. This next kit, Corolla from the 1998 Rally Kenya, or I think it might be Safari Rally. It was an African rally, same as the other one. Again, Hasegawa, straight out of the box, kit decals and metal bits. Moving on to the year 1999. Peugeot 206 GTI in Peugeot house colours, sponsored by SO, and this is the... I can't remember which rally this is. Oh, it's the Rally of France.
All right.
Yep, another Rally of France. Straight out of the box. Used the kit seat belt from Decals and some matching blue tape for the seatbelt extensions across to the back. This was the one that I built back in the early 2000s. And so this is the first one I built, the Tamiya, when these rally cars were available, anywhere. I used to live in the northern suburbs of Melbourne, quite close to Hobby HQ, when William Wong had his Hobby HQ shop in Reservoir, so that was quite dangerous. And I'd managed to get this one. So this was built again, completely out of the box back in those days. It's the movie star Ford Martini style markings of the era.
And so this was built before this whole collection idea was ever
Absolutely,
gestated.
absolutely. Yeah, I would have bought the kit in the early 2000s and built it mid 2000, I think. So it took a good 15 plus years before the second one was built. Evo 7 Lancer. Now, in the last video, we had the Evo 7 was the Hella kit, and I was going to be building that and the Evo 4. Well, I have built both, but this is not the Hella kit. This is the Tamiya kit, because very shortly after the video was made, I was actually gifted the Tamiya version of the kit. So the Hella box is very much still sitting in the stash. I did go back to the actual race livery without the Marlboro stickers, mainly due to a bit of a self-inflicted injury. After I sprayed the car, I was doing the black trim around the windows, and despite my best efforts, I managed to get the masking tape onto the decals too strongly and pulled some of the original decals off, so it was stripped, repainted, and then I used the kit decals, which were representative of the car in the rally, whereas the aftermarket ones I had were representative of the car when it was launched on display
with the chevrons.
With the Marlboro.
Yeah.
The Marlboro on it, but this was just at the time that cigarette advertising was being banned. And the last two that I have built, and probably the reason why I need a little bit of a break from rally cars at the moment, the Tale of Two Zaras. So these are a pair of the Hella Citroen Zaras. A lot of work required on these, very accurate to a degree, accurate in body shape, but a lot of work was required to build them up to actual production spec standards. For the years that I was doing them. The kits represent sort of 2003, 4 time frame on that homologation, whereas these, a 2007 and a 2009, I stopped homologating them in 2006, but I've actually used as reference, I've got hold of the FIA, a copy of the FIA homologation document for the Citroen Zara.
Okay.
It's a PDF that's about 486 pages long. So it was a very technical document, and all in French, but the pictures were in English, so that was good. But what it meant was I had good reference material, and I could see, for example, that the exhausts, which the kit had on this side, had to come out on this side, where different things were and weren't on the various vehicles. So this one had an additional, had the 2007 front air splitter, whereas the kit here this one has the original one. Again, mix and match, use whatever you like. Kit rims on this one, the 18-inch rims, they're actually the 18-inch rims that came from this kit, but that's beside the point. But in interior-wise, the seats were totally inaccurate. I had some seats 3D printed by Max at the Model Club.
Yep.
There were no interior door cards, so I made them from scratch. Made, painted, carbon fibered, and added other suitable things, including instrumentation, gear levers, and everything else that was representative of the vehicles. Decals by Renaissance went down very well. This one has, again, printed by Max, some 15-inch rims. These are 18-inch rims that representative 15-inch rims on snow tyres. Interesting thing is they have the same ride height. Well, not the same ride height, the same headlight height on the two vehicles, whereas one has got tarmac suspension and one has got snow suspension, but a gravel suspension. Again, same interior and other works were required on that one as were on this one. Carbon fibre decaling used for the front air dams, also for the rear spoilers. So each of those rear spoilers has I think it's 18 individual cut out pieces of carbon.
Vertical ribs.
Yeah, the vertical ribs and the
cause an
gaps in
issue.
between were fun, yes. And these were aftermarket, which came with the decals actually, because the kit rear wings are not quite high enough, and so these are more representative.
So a lot of work to get those accurate,
A lot of work to get those accurate. I
but
mean,
rewarding in the build because of it, I guess.
exactly, and look, they're good 3-foot models. They won't see the light of day on the competition table, but they are good display models, and the colour schemes are quite striking on both of them. So this is the Peter Solberg car, and this is the Marcus Stoll, Austrian driver. Interesting thing, Austrian flag on the top there. So another Monte Carlo car, Norwegian flag on the top, and this was actually the Rally of Norway as well. So yeah, so that is where we're at.
You've got this bit of a subset going with the Audis from the 1980s. Can you explain what this is about?
Absolutely. Twofold. One is it's the continuation of the Michel Mouton rally car sequence, but it's also the evolution of the Audi Quattro from its initial carnation as a Group 4 car, which is what the rally rules were at the time, then into its evolution into when Group B came out, and then what then happened with the Sport Quattro, which was the final iteration, or the two final iterations of the car, through to 1986 when Group B was disbanded. What we have, the Italeri car, the kit most represents an early Group 4 car. It has the twin headlights and the low rear spoiler just on the boot lid there. So that's what identifies this as the early Group 4 cars. One of the things that Audi found fairly early on, especially in hot conditions, was that the getting cooling into the front of the engine and the turbos was a challenge. They did actually remove the headlights, the inside headlights on a particular rally, and then got disqualified for doing so. But so that was one of the things that actually led in the second iteration of the Group 4 car, the 1982 car, which is a single headlights at the front, but there's more air going in under the bonnet. Also, at the rear of the car, and I will turn this around so that we can see there, incorporated below the spoiler, which is much higher, was the oil intercooler. Was moved to the rear of the car for weight balance issues. One of the challenges that Audi had was, being a longitudinal engine, a lot of it hung over the front of the front axle, so the weight distribution wasn't perfect. So anything that could be done to move things towards the back, and so incorporating the oil cooler, the air going over the back of the vehicle cooled it down, and just the extra weight there helped equal the balance out on the car. So then came along Group B. The body shape was changed to allow for a wider stance. The guards at the front and the rear were extended, and also the rear guards had vents in to allow for cooling for the braking. So this body will go onto this Tamiya kit, which is the second of the two Tamiya kits that I managed to source, and it will be in the yellow and white with the red Audi scheme from the middle of its sort of the middle years of its running. Yep. So yeah, looking forward to building that.
Now it's a resin body.
It's a resin body, yes.
It looks very thin. I can see the light shining through. That looks very fragile in places, or is it?
No, it's going to be very fragile in places. Yeah, have to be very careful when I'm cleaning it up to make sure I'm not getting rid of bits. And I can already see that I'm going to have to add some little bits in, because I can see the boot. I can see straight through that. So it's very, very authentic. But yeah, it will be a challenge. But yeah, look, it shouldn't be a drama in as much as I have built resin and kits before. So it's just putting a resin body on an existing kit shouldn't be a drama. As Group B developed and other vehicles came in, the Audi started to lose competitiveness, and one of the challenges it had was its length. It needed a shorter wheelbase.
It's a big car.
Yeah. So, as you can see, Audi shortened it. They just chopped a number of centimetres out of the car and gave it a slightly more raked roof, windscreen. And yeah, so that was born the Sport Quattro. And then, with all the extra horsepower and the short wheelbase and everything else, they found that it was having problems keeping it on the ground. Especially a lot of the air was getting under the nose. So that's when the Sport Quattro Evo 2 came along with this badass body kit on it.
Which is this?
Which is that one, yes. Yep, so we'll just get those out of the way for now so we can see. Yeah, so yeah, this will be, that was the final evolution of the car. And this will be in, as I think we discussed before, it will be in a similar scheme to this, which is not that one, and then this one will be an all-white one. Sorry, that one will be an all-white one. This is the all-white scheme for this one.
Okay, yep.
And this one, we have the scheme for this one.
The HB.
Yeah. Yep. So that's that one. So we'll have 5 Audi Quattros, all different body shells, all different liveries, all driven by the same driver.
That's cool.
Happy with that.
Now this one is a little bit special for the whole thing.
Indeed, yes. Indeed, Mark. This is Mark 1 Ford Escort, which really piqued my interest in cars and rallying from the 1970 World Cup rally from London to Mexico, Mexico City. Rare as hen's teeth. These were out of production, but shortly after we did the last video, I found that I think it was Domino Models in Belgium had a couple on their website. Only problem was they only ship within the EU. I couldn't even get it delivered to my sister in the UK since Brexit.
Yep.
Okay. So fortunately, I have a friend who I met in Sydney when we were both living in Sydney, and we were in the Audi club up there together because we both drove Audis at the time, who has relocated to southwest of France. And he also buys kits from that particular shop. So he put an order in, including my kit, and then it had it delivered to him in southwestern France, and then he posted it out to me in Australia.
Things you do to get the kits you want.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Paul, for that, if you are watching. Okay, so here we go. This is the Bell Kits Ford Escort Mark 1. It's the 1973 Daily Mirror Rally Boxing, but that won't let that get in the way because I have sourced from a company called Motorbits, decals and scale accessories. Unfortunately, Motorbits don't exist anymore. Managed to get from him a set of the decals and resin to make the winning car driven by Hannu Mikkola. Rally drivers that know the name, for the longest rally that's ever been attempted or carried out in the world. So some additional bits that they put were some external strut braces running from the roof to the top of the strut towers, and some extensive bull bars for a lot of the wildlife that would be expected on route. Rest of the kit standard bell kits, very crisply moulded. You get the options for the round or the rectangular headlights. Nicely moulded transparencies. Get some metallic decals and an antenna. Also get some photo etch, brake discs, seatbelt buckles, and you get the seatbelt material as well. That's multiple sets of tyres giving you different aggressiveness of tread for different stages that you might be running on.
So other than the decals, this is all what's in the bell kits?
This is all what's in the bell kits.
Including a scale antenna. Now, I know with some of the other stuff, you've switched antennas over to wire.
Yes.
Because the kit supplied antennas are like broomsticks.
And some of the kits are supplied with wire antennas. So I have used those, and they're generally longer. They're bits of wire which are longer, so I save them for other kits. Other ones which have really long ones in field, like the Escort there, that was my own wire. And I might also just turn the base of it to give that sort of spring effect that you have on the base of the antennas.
You've got something else?
Yeah, because I enjoyed building those heli kits so much. I went and bought myself a couple more. Why do I do these things? This was an interesting one. So this is the Citroen C4. So the C4 is the car which superseded the Zara as the Citroen rally car. Hella produced it, only company who does. Interestingly, they produced it in a white box version, which means
handy.
It's handy, yeah. So what it means is they provide you with just a basic set of everything, instructions, and hopefully so they just provide you with a set of basic windscreen and seatbelt and those kinds of decals, so that you can source your own ones. Because one of the things you often includes in the price of kits is decals, which in most cases, or a lot of cases, you don't use. I'll talk about wire.
Oh yes, yeah.
Nowhere in the instructions does it tell you what to do with it, but
it's there.
But it's there. So again, quite a simple kit, but very well moulded, very accurate, and certainly the design of the car is going to make for an interesting rally car. The seats are decent in this iteration. Still has the standard Hella lacquer suspension and under details. Doesn't have door cards, but fortunately there are some resin ones which I managed to get. So it will have a photo etch set and just a nice simple decal scheme. But if you notice, Peter Solberg. So it's another Peter Solberg
another
car.
Solberg car.
Yeah. So nice set of decals for that one. So yeah, that will be interesting. I then got this one, which I thought was actually, they also produced this car as a white box, and from the shop that I got it from will remain nameless, but they actually had it advertised as the white box version, but it came as this one with a set of markings which, whilst nice, very beautifully printed set of decals. I'm not sure if they're cartograph or whatever, but they are very nicely printed. Unfortunately, it's not the car I wanted, because what I wanted to do was this particular car. And why did I want to do this one? Well, if you look at the drivers, there's S. Loeb and S. Loeb. Sebastian Loeb. And his wife.
Ah, okay.
As the navigator.
Yep.
So you've got actually on the you've got one O with a male sign and one O with a female sign. So yeah, she drove with him as a navigator in a number of rallies. Out of the competitive, not
WRC stuff.
Not WRC stuff. So this was a rally in Europe somewhere, and the car was also covered in Gordon
gin.
Gordon beers.
Oh, beers, is it?
Yeah. So lovely black car with some lovely decals on it.
Yeah.
So get a photo etch set. Does have door cards, so that's that's one thing that Hella have done. And again, nice little. And it sort of shows again the cars are smaller than that era, but not quite as small as that. But again, nicely moulded. We'll get cut up a bit to add some things into it. But yeah. So there we go.
So that's technically not part of the collection.
No, because...
But it's just interesting rally stuff you want to build.
Because these are going to be from 2012, 2014.
Okay.
So they're
outside of your self-imposed year limit.
Well, although that does sort of lead to the question that you had earlier about what you're going to do after you finish. Well, maybe it will be time to extend it through to 2020.
20 years?
Well, sorry, no, 10 years.
10 years, sorry.
Yeah, because, I've already started the extension into the next decade. Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Brand that was owned by a dentist who... actually, one of the things that he did is...
There goes the cat.
There goes the cat.